Lesson 512 is, again, dealing with fractions, and we're going to be looking at simplifying and finding equivalent fractions. But today's questions are, what is a multiplier? And I guess we could kind of add also to that, what is a divisor? Oops, I can't type right now. So we've kind of, what is a multiplier, what a divisor, and then how do they affect fractions? Because they're going to affect fractions in different ways, but in a very similar manner. So what is a multiplier, what is a divisor, and how do they affect fractions? And we will be talking about that in videos 2, 3, and 4. But as per usual, video 1, we're going to be looking at some things that I'm seeing as we're working on homework and working on quizzes. And one of the things that we seem to be having issues with right now is subtracting fractions with regrouping. So I'm going to give you 3 problems here, and I'm just going to write them vertically for you right now. The first one is 2 less 1/3. The next one is 5 and 3/8. Subtract 2 and 7/8. And your final problem is 2 and 1/6 less 1 and 5/6. So why don't you first pause the video, work these problems and check and see how you did, and then once you're done, restart the video and then check and see how did you do. Are you doing the process right? Good luck. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you've taken some time and worked through these problems. Now I'm going to work through them, and hopefully you will get the exact same answers that I got. Okay, the first one is 1/3, 2 less 1/3. Now the thing is, we can't subtract 1/3 away from nothing. We cannot do that. So we have to put something in this place. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our neighbor, and we're going to borrow some sugar. 2 is going to become 1. And we're going to borrow, we're going to convert, and we're going to put 1 here. Now, in the past, because we've been working with the base 10, all we have to do is move and we put a 1 in front of the number. So in the past, if we were working with decimals, you just move a 1. This would be a 0, and you'd just put a 1 in front of it. Well, unfortunately, boys and girls, we are not working with base 10. We are working with, in this case, our language is 3, is thirds. So we're going to bring over 1, but we're going to use it in the language of thirds. And 1 in the language of thirds is 3/3. So now we're able to subtract because we filled this void with a number. So 3/3 less 1/3 is going to give me 2/3. 1, and this is a 0, 1 minus 0 is 1. So that's how we do that problem. We have to make sure we fill the void, and we fill the void with something in the correct language. We fill the void with 1, and we make sure it's in the correct language. Alright, so now let's look at problem number 2. 5 and 3/8 less 2 and 7/8. Well, right now we know that 3 is less than 7, so we cannot subtract 7 from 3. So we have to go to our neighbor, borrow some sugar, and 5 becomes 4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the sugar that we are borrowing from our neighbor is not going to be normal sugar. It's special ACE sugar. And we're going to bring 1 whole in, and we're going to make it 8/8. Now, one of the things that I saw yesterday is people would just bring this and they'd change it to 8/8, and they'd forget about this. But this is important because it's already there. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine them, and we're going to get 11/8. Now, I'm going to subtract 11/8, and I can slide this over, less 7/8, because now I've combined these two, and the numerator is greater than the numerator here. So 11 less 7 is 4, and my language is ACE, and then 4 less 2 is 2. Alright, now our final problem is 2 and 1/6 less 1 and 5/6. And again, we run into the problem where the top number, the numerator, is less than the bottom number's numerator. So we have to go to our neighbor and borrow some sugar. 2 is going to become 1. Now in this case, I'm going to bring over my 6, 6. And I'm bringing over 1. Oh, for some reason, I cannot get this 6, 6. But instead of adding it like here, like I normally do, I'm just going to add the 6 to right here. And this is going to become 7, 6. Now, 7, 6 is greater than 5, 6. I'm ready to subtract. 7, 6 minus 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. And my language is 6. And then 1 less 1 is 0. So the answer is 2, 6. Now, boys and girls, if you do not do it this way, and you did 1, 6 plus 6, 6 is equal to 7, 6, and then you slid this over for 7, 6 plus 5, 6, that is perfectly okay. What's more important to right now is that you understand that you are adding one whole, but it's in the language of 6. You're adding one whole, but it's in the language of eighths. You're adding one whole, but it's in the language of thirds. All right, so that's it for our review. Coming up next, we're going to talk about multipliers and divisors.